And the National Treasury's Public Debt Management Office will be replaced should MPs enact a law establishing a semi-autonomous authority to manage the public debt. The Public Debt Management Bill 2020 seeks to establish the authority to implement the government's borrowing policy to minimize costs. The bill, sponsored by Nambala MP Sakwa Bunyasi, provides that the authority will maintain a register of all loans advanced to national and county governments. Let's get more from our very own Faisal Ahmed.
Kenya will establish a semi-autonomous agency to manage public debt if a bill before Parliament becomes law.
Seeks to introduce.
Nambale MP Sakwa Bunyasi sponsored a bill to establish the Public Debt Management Authority as an independent agency to manage Kenya's loans.
We are saying that this borrowing authority would advise the CS to say, look at the global market for the resources we could borrow. These are the sources of borrowing that have the lowest cost. These are other sources, but they have a high cost. And unless it's a matter of life and death of a week or so, you don't have to go to the high cost one unless if you have got a lower cost one.
The agency will be managed by a board comprising of a chairperson appointed by the President, the Treasury CS, the Attorney General, the CBK Governor, and CEOs of the Capital Markets Authority, NSC, and KIPRA. With the country's debt surpassing 7 trillion shillings this year, the authority will be tasked with compiling, verifying and reporting on all national government domestic debt arrears and designing a strategy for settlement. Kenya's debt appetite and ability to repay the loans have come under key focus in the recent past.
And these issues we must.
Appearing before a parliamentary committee on Tuesday, National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani, while acknowledging the high level of debts, insisted that the country was still within reach of servicing its loans.
We've also embarked on a scale down on use of commercial debts because most of those critical areas that we were engaging in commercial, like in the major infrastructural areas, I think we believe for the time being we've achieved significant progress.
One can say that the government has not been very transparent in its on what it has borrowed, from whom, for what period, at what interest rate. All these issues don't come out clearly. So what this bill is trying to do is to insist on having a professional management authority with people who understand issues of public debt.
Already, the government is eyeing a cost-cutting measure as revenue generation continues to be outpaced by expenditure. This has seen the state toy around with ideas such as salary rationalization for civil servants and merger of state departments to free up some jobs. The bill also proposes that loans shall be approved by Parliament, including guarantee of loans to county governments or any other borrower.
This will be not only for national government. Down the road, when county government is also borrowing, there will be protocols that they need to borrow. They need to use. The Debt Management Authority would provide that support, the analytical support, capacity building support for each of the counties, the analysis that's required to meet the threshold of the law on behalf of county governments, and their debt also will be properly recorded and embedded in their own economies, because they are responsible for the payment of the debt.
The National Treasury will not, however, guarantee a loan on capital projects if a borrower is capable of repaying the loan where there is sufficient security in case of a private borrower and if the borrower has a healthy balance sheet. If approved, the authority will work together with the National Treasury and the CBK to determine the form of securities to be created, issued and floated. The bill allows county governments to borrow domestically or from foreign sources within limits set in the most recent fiscal strategy paper. Faisal Ahmed, Citizen TV, Nairobi.